It is time for another episode of WCW in 2001. We are on the road to Great American Bash, and some backstage issues we have is Sting wants to leave. Now he's not happy. Let's go to his page here. He is not happy because we fired Ric Flair, Rick Steiner, Lex Luger, and then we had a problem with Buff Bagwell. So I gave him a whole lot of money to get him happy. I think this is gonna make him a little more upset because we're gonna reject it. I have a storyline going on with him right now. I don't want him to be unhappy, and he's one of the bright spots on this roster. I mean, our fifth best guy is Buff Bagwell. That kind of says it all. Without further ado, we're gonna get into our first Nitro. On our first match of the night, Kanyon defeated Kaz in 19 minutes and 47 seconds. Kaz had a 36 performance. Kanyon had a 46. Goldberg was ringside for this segment, but it looks like Kaz and Kanyon don't really click, so it hurt the performance of this. Up next, we have an interview with Chavo, and AJ Styles is not actually supposed to be there, so ignore that he's here. But Gene asked Chavo, says, tough loss out there tonight, how are you feeling? Coming up short in your match. Chavo says, let me make one thing perfectly clear. The Guerrero name is synonymous with excellence in this business. My family's legacy runs deep in the veins of professional wrestling, and that means something. So Gene asks him, what are you saying? And Chavo says, what I'm saying is that I deserve respect, I deserve recognition, and most importantly, I deserve a shot at the title whenever I damn please. So Gene asks if he's suggesting that he gets a title shot tonight. And Chavo says, you're damn right I am. AJ may be the champion right now, but if you got any guts, you'll accept my challenge and put the title on the line tonight. Now, that challenge is ultimately unanswered as of now. So in the next match, Storm and Vampiro defeated Chronic in 10 minutes and 17 seconds. Overall, pretty okay. Vampiro got a 53, Lance Storm a 64, Brian Clark a 44, and Brian Adams a 52, Submarine a 52. So after that match, Lance Storm and Vampiro go backstage and they cross paths with the tag team champions Shawn and Chuck. So Vampiro says, well, look who it is, the dynamic duo who managed to escape by with a victory. Lance Storm says, you boys got lucky out there, no denying that, but let me make one thing crystal clear. What happened out there Sunday was a fluke, nothing more. Shawn says, fluke or not, a win was a win, and on Sunday we proved that we're the superior team. Chuck says that at Great American Bash we'll prove it again, only this time there won't be any doubt about who the better team is. Vampiro says that you two seem pretty confident for a couple of guys who just barely squeaked by, but hey, if you want to dance again at Great American Bash, we'll be more than happy to oblige. And Lance Storm says, you know this? Lightning doesn't strike the same place twice, and at Great American Bash, there won't be any luck involved. Just two teams battling out until there's only one left standing. And Shawn says, bring it on. We'll be ready for whatever you throw at us. Strong words from those two. So it looks like Shawn didn't do well without his script to follow. Maybe I'll have him do scripts. We'll see. But 56 segments, so it was pretty good. I'm impressed by this because I kind of just threw them together because the tag team division sucks. But anyways, right after that, Bam and Awesome have a match, and Bam defeats Awesome. I shorten the names. I'm doing the WWE thing and making them short names. So anyways, it's easier to type that way. Bam defeated Awesome with the segment rating of 56. Bam had a 53. Awesome had a 63. And their feud here starts. So after that match, Awesome gets back up real quick, and while Bam has his back turned, attacks him from behind. And after that, Elix Skipper defeated Shane Helms in 14 minutes and 41 seconds by pinfall. But during that match, Elix Skipper sustained a hip tendonitis injury, and this segment had a 34. Little spoiler, I was planning on using Elix a lot. We'll have to see how serious that injury is. But DDP is getting ready for an interview, and on his way to get the interview, he is attacked by Batista and Shane Douglas while Eric Bischoff watches on menacingly. And then Jeff Jarrett defeated Yang in 15:23 by submission after interference from Jeremy Borash. Jeremy Borash is now Jeff Jarrett's new manager because I didn't have a use for Jeremy Borash. I have Mike Tenay and Bobby Heenan as commentators, and I wanted to keep them that way. I have Gene as a interviewer, so Jeremy Borash is now going to be Jeff Jarrett's manager because they are friends. Jeff had a performance of 56, where Yang had a performance of 35. Okay, I think probably should have done my research, but I think Yang's pretty young here, so I think he's got time to improve. But obviously, it doesn't really matter. This match was one of the best of the night, so. And after that, we have a Sting promo responding to the events of Slamboree. And Sting says, "For too long, I've watched from the shadows as WCW has been torn apart by greed, betrayal, and corruption. I've witnessed legends fall, championships tarnished, and the very essence of what WCW stood for trampled upon those who care only for their selfish agendas. But no more. The time for sitting idly by has passed. WCW needs a savior, and I am here to answer the call. You see, for too long, I've been a silent guard of this company, fighting my battles alone, trusting in the goodness of others to prevail. But I've learned the hard way that sometimes you have to embrace the darkness to vanquish it. So to those who seek to destroy WCW, to those who would betray everything this company stands for, I have a message for you. I am coming for you, and I will stop at nothing to ensure that WCW raises from the ashes, stronger and more resilient than ever before. Whether it means making alliances with unlikely allies, whether it means shedding my own code of honor to do what must be done, I will do whatever it takes to save WCW. So mark my words, my friends, my enemies, and everyone in between. The icon Sting is here, and WCW will be saved, no matter what I have to do." Booker T enters after that. He says, "Now hold on just a minute, Sting. I got to give you props for your passion, man. But you're talking about saving WCW like it's some damsel in distress. Last time I checked, WCW doesn't need a hero, it needs a champion. You see, Sting, I've been in the business a long time, and I've seen my fair share of ups and downs. I've held championships, and I've faced adversity, and I've fought tooth and nail to get to where I am today. And you know what? I ain't about to let anyone, not even you, come in here and try to steal my spotlight. So if you think you're going to swoop in here and play hero, you better think again, because the only thing you're going to save is a beatdown courtesy of Booker T." Heated promo there to end WCW. Two men staring down with a segment reign of 93. So we had a performance of 63. I think that last promo kind of saved the show. I think these two men are I think all we got. Sorry about that. I think Jeff Jarrett is good in terms of ring performance, and I think we have a future. We have a future coming up, but right now we're in a tough spot. Now that we got those first two pay-per-views out of the way, and I think this is time for the real push. I think I'm looking forward to this Sting and Booker T. We'll have to check while I'm here. I'm going to check the status of Elix Skipper's injury. I'm a little concerned about it as we just stare here at Christian waiting for this to load. Alright, so let's check Elix Skipper. I'm a little worried. So he's really, really hurt. He's still gonna work, but he's injured for a year and a month. So that's definitely gonna change some plans because I don't want to push him. Will he go to Wildside? No, he won't go to Wildside. So I'll figure it out. Maybe use him sparingly. Obviously, he's really good, and I want to use him. Oh, shoot. But, anyways, things happen. We're going to move on to next week. This goddamn mod is this. It just automatically makes it close. I thought that was the whole point of what I was doing. And, oh, you guys are seeing everything. Oh no. I thought that was the whole point of this mod, was to keep it open. But no worries. We're going to have a little bit of some tweaking that's going to have to get done. But it'll continue like nothing. Almost nothing happened. So I'll see you guys on Nitro. Basically, I went in and I got it fixed. Had to go in through the editor and fix it. But we're here with our next episode of Nitro. And we start with Eric Bischoff being interviewed by Mean Gene, and I messed this up, so it's saying that Sting's out, but he's really not the one that's out. But anyways, Eric starts the show and he says, I want to say something to Sting and Booker T. Thank you for your impassioned words last week. Sting, your dedication to WCW and your willingness to do whatever it takes to see it thrive is commendable. Booker, your assertion that WCW needs a champion rather than a hero is also a valid perspective. However, it's important to remember that ultimately our goal is the same, to ensure the success and longevity of WCW. Sting, while your methods may differ from those of others, your intentions seem to align with that goal. Booker T, as someone who has proven himself as a formidable competitor time and time again, your dedication to maintaining your position is understandable. That being said, let's not allow our differences in approach to create unnecessary conflict. WCW is its best when our talent works together towards a common purpose. Sting, I encourage you to continue your efforts to save WCW, but let's do so in a way that respects the contributions of all our superstars. Booker T, I appreciate your determination to protect your place in WCW, and I trust that you will continue to showcase your talents in the ring. As general manager, I am here to facilitate a positive working environment for all our performers, and I believe that by working together, we can achieve great things for this company. So let's channel this passion and energy into our performances in the ring, and let's show the world why WCW is the greatest wrestling promotion on the planet. Thank you both. Now, I don't know. I think good sentiment there from Eric Bischoff, but I think it was also a little bit full of shit, because I don't think there's much of a positive working environment that we get from Eric Bischoff. But basically just saying, don't let things get worse, because you guys have different views. Eric Bischoff trying to mediate? I don't think we've ever seen that before. Anyways, our next match, we have Storm and Vampiro defeating Jindrak and Sean Stasiak when Lance Storm submitted Mark Jindrak. This is a segment rating of 48. Jindrak and Stasiak were both off their game, and yeah, you can tell Jindrak had a 37 performance. Afterwards, AJ is responding to Chavo Guerrero from last week, and AJ says, Chavo, you're a talented competitor, there's no denying that, but just because your last name is Guerrero doesn't automatically entitle you to a shot at my championship. Now, don't get me wrong, I have the utmost respect for your family's legacy in this business. The Guerreros have contributed so much to the world of wrestling, and that's something I'll always admire. But earning a championship opportunity isn't about your family name. It's about what you bring to the table, and as far as I'm concerned, you haven't shown me enough to warrant a title shot. However, I'm not one to back down from a challenge to Chavo. If you want a shot at this title, you're going to have to prove yourself. You want to step into this ring and show me what you're made of, earn it, and I'll see you at Great American Bash. Okay. Now, it says he was terrible at his dialogue, probably because it says with no script to follow, so I have to remember to give them scripts. Probably because I wrote it. But that was a 34 rating. Elix Skipper defeated Evan Courageous in 9 minutes and 44 seconds with a segment rating of 47. Elix Skipper had a 44. Evan Courageous had a 43. Now, I probably could have gone in and made sure that he was injured, Elix Skipper, but when I fixed the save, he wasn't injured anymore. I am not sure if his injury was just over. I can't remember, or it just disappeared when I was, fixing the save. But he's not injured right now. I'm not gonna use him as frequently, like as I was planning on it. So that'll be that. Since he was injured, I'm not too sure. I'll say he's not 100%. Obviously, I'm going to use him later because I really want to use him. But right now, we'll just kind of put him on the shelf a little bit, use him sparingly. But anyways, and about that had great heat and good wrestling. Mike Austin defeated Bam in 9 minutes and 56 seconds by pinfall with a segment reign of 53. Awesome had a performance of 60. Bam had a performance of 53. Bam seemed to be off his game there. And Canyon is storming to the ring and he says, Goldberg, you think you're unstoppable? You think you're undefeatable? Well, I got news for you, big man. You haven't met the likes of me yet. I think he met him already, but there's some inconsistencies in this writing. They call me the innovator of offense, but you know what? This is just a fancy way of saying I'm unpredictable, I'm dangerous, and I'm downright crazy. Goldberg, you may bulldoze through every opponent that's come through your way, but I'm not like anyone you faced before. That one kind of works. I'll do whatever it takes, use whatever tactics necessary to take you down and prove that even though the so-called unbeatable can be defeated. So get ready, Goldberg. Get ready for the fight unlike any you've ever experienced, because when you step into the ring with me, you're not just facing another opponent, you're facing your worst nightmare come to life. Okay, strong words there. We'll see. Can Canyon be the one to finally take down Goldberg and his undefeated streak? And Jimmy Hart did not do very good with that. I gotta remember that. Anyways, Young Dragons defeated the Funker and Johnny Swinger in 10 minutes and 4 seconds when Kaz pinned the Funker with a simultaneous diving leg drop. 41 segment rating there. And Gene is shown walking through the hallways here, and he finds DDP just backstage knocked out, and we're not too sure what is going on. We kind of have our suspicions, though, that Bischoff had something to do with it. And what Gene was even walking back there for was to go see Booker T. And he says, Booker, last week Sting made some bold claims about saving WCW, even hinting at some controversial methods to achieve his goals. How do you feel about Sting's recent reactions and intentions? Booker says, let me tell you something, Gene. Sting's been around this business for a long time, just like me. He's a legend, no doubt about it. But lately he's been acting a little off. Gene says, off in what way, Booker? Well, Booker says off in the sense that he's willing to do whatever it takes to save WCW, as he puts it. But the way I see it, WCW doesn't need saving. WCW needs champions who are willing to fight with honor and integrity, not resort to desperate measures. Gene says, so are you saying you don't trust Sting's intentions? Well, Booker says, I'm not saying that, Gene. All I'm saying is that Sting needs to remember what WCW stands for and the legacy that it carries. If he truly wants to help, he needs to do it the right way, not by causing chaos and uncertainty. Gene says, strong words, Booker. Do you have any plans to confront Sting about this? Booker says, you know me, Gene. I'm not one to back down from a challenge. If Sting wants to play hero, then he better be ready to face the consequences. As for me, I'll be keeping a close eye on him, ready to step in if things get out of hand. All right, Booker is putting Sting on notice there. And after that, we have Sting, and after that segment, we have Sting come in, and he reaches the end of that promo there from Booker, and they both have a stare down. Okay, I had a confusion, so we're gonna fix this. So after that Booker T interview, this is what happens. So Sting has a match with Dustin Rhodes. He has a match with Dustin Rhodes, and Booker T is on commentary. So then, of course, Sting defeats Dustin Rhodes with a segment rating of 52, and then Sting and Booker have their stare down after the match. I don't know. I must have just skipped past it and was not paying attention. But anyways, on to our next Nitro. Funker was caught smoking. We're going to give him a warning. Jimmy Yang failed to schedule for a meeting jeans cause problems with wrestler core. I don't care, All right, well, into Nitro. It is time for the next episode of Nitro. We start this off with Awesome facing Bam, and it looks like it goes to a draw because of a double countout. Obviously, this is heated between the two of them. They start brawling on the outside, and they get counted out. Looks like Awesome sustained turf toe. I'm not sure how extreme that can be, but it looks like Bam got some backstage heat, so that is not looking good for our already poor backstage rating. But we shall move on, because that always happens here. All right, so Eric Bischoff says, all right, let's set the record straight now. Last week, Diamond Dallas Page was viciously attacked, and we want to make it clear that we had absolutely nothing to do with it. Shane Douglas says, that's right. We may have our differences with DDP, but we would never resort to such a cowardly tactics. Batista says, we're not afraid to face our enemies head on in the ring or otherwise. Attacking someone from behind is not our style. Eric says, look, we understand that suspicions might be running high given our history with DDP, but we're here to tell you, I just had a stroke. Oh my god. We're here to tell you that we had no part in what happened to him. Shane Douglas says, in fact, we are just as eager as anyone to find out who is behind this attack, because whoever it was, they're going to have to answer to us. So DDP, if you're watching this, know that despite our past differences, we are men of honor, and we are going to do everything in our power to find out who did this. Eric Bischoff says, and when we do, they're going to regret ever crossing paths with us. Now, in other news, it's clear that the feud between Bam and Awesome has reached a boiling point, and it's time to settle this once and for all. So at Great American Bash this weekend, I'm booking a tiebreaker match between the two, but with a twist. Given the gravity of this rivalry, I'm making it a casket match. And then Awesome enters, broken toe or whatever. Casket match. Bischoff, you're really pulling out all the stops to try and bury me, aren't you? Well, let me tell you something. I thrive in chaos. I thrive in brutality, and I will not be intimidated by some glorified coffin match. Bam, you may think you stand a chance against me, but let's face it, you're just delaying the inevitable. This Sunday at the Great American Bash, I'm going to make an example out of you. I'm going to show the world what happens when you dare step into the ring with the most dominant force in WCW. As for you, Bishop, you can throw whatever obstacles you want in my path, but nothing will stop me from achieving my goals. So go ahead, book your little casket match, but just remember, when all is said and done, it'll be Bam's lifeless body in that casket, and there's nothing anyone or you can do about it. All right, a lot happened there. A lot of probably lies from Eric Bischoff and company, but, they haven't done anything to make us suspicious. And also, we had Awesome come in and, make it clear that he plans on taking down Bam at Great American Bash. If his toe is good, of course. And the next match, we have Billy Kidman defeating the Funkster. Segment rating was 52. And Chavo Guerrero defeated Evan Courageous. 51 rating. It looks like they didn't like two back-to-back high spot matches. I did not know that, so we're gonna have to do that. Not do that another time. And also, didn't say here, but AJ Styles was also at ringside watching over Chavo during this match. All right, so we're backstage again, and Sean and Chuck are backstage, and they have something to say. So they say, Storm and Vampiro, we have heard the news. You two are the number one contenders for these tag team titles, as they, show off their belts. And you know what? We welcome the challenge. We face the very best of the best, and we've come out on top every single time, Sean says. But don't think for a second that we're underestimating you. We know what you're capable of, and we know you'll stop at nothing to take these belts from us. And Chuck says, but here's the thing. We're not going to just roll over and hand them over to you. If you want these titles, you're going to have to pry them from our cold, dead hands. And Sean says, so Storm and Vampira, you bring everything you got, because we're not about to let go of these titles without a fight. And then Chuck says, and when it's all said and done, you'll understand why Sean and Chuck are the undisputed champions of the tag team division. Well, looks like that was terrible. Again, with no script to follow, I didn't even do it this time. I need to start doing scripts. I might as well. I'm writing the scripts anyways, so I might as well put in here that they're reading off the scripts. Hopefully that helps. Hopefully no one gets too upset. But anyways, Bill Goldberg squashed Jamie Dundee in 48 seconds with a segment rating of 58. I'm surprised that was pretty good. Performance of Bill Goldberg really stood out. Jeff Jarrett defeated the Cat in 10 minutes and 12 seconds by submission after blatantly cheating. Probably Jeremy Borash interference again. Segment rating of 48. And backstage, Conan oversees Batista and Shane Douglas beating up on Diamond Dallas Page, with Bischoff watching and encouraging them. So he goes over and he breaks it up. And I've been telling you, there's something fishy with Bischoff and his boys there. But Jeff Jarrett is backstage just a little bit further, talking to Mean Gene, and Gene says, Jeff, your remarks about Rey Mysterio and his championship reign have stirred up quite a reaction. Can you elaborate on your perspective? And Jeff says, look here, Gene. Rey Mysterio is undoubtedly a talented competitor, but let's not sugarcoat it. He's swimming in the deep end of the pool meant for heavyweights. Gene says, are you suggesting that Rey's size puts him at a disadvantage? And Jeff says, Mean Gene, and this business size does matter. Rey's got a heart, no denying that. But that heart won't help him when he's staring up at opponents twice his size. Gene says Rey's had some memorable matches, though. What about his championship victory? And Jeff says, oh, that championship win, it's about as memorable as yesterday's news. The only time Rey has been interesting is when he wore a mask, and he lost that against some slap nuts. So no, he's got nothing, and he's got no future. Gene says, so you're calling Rey's reign a fluke? Jeff says, you got it, Gene. Rey's a flash in the pan, and when that title slips from his grasp, everyone will see that the real champion was standing right here all along, Jeff Jarrett. And in our main event, Buff Bagwell defeated Hugh Morris in 10 minutes and 9 seconds by submission with a segment rating of 53. Buff had an in-ring performance of 58. Hugh had a performance of 56. And Buff and Hugh had great chemistry. And it showed in their performances. So that 51, okay, we used David Batista too much on the show. I don't think that's going to be changing. I think we're going to give him the Roman Reigns streamer. We're going to push him until he gets over. But, yeah, overall rating of 51. And that's it. Until I'll see you guys at Great American Bash. We're starting off Great American Bash with some problems. Jimmy Yang has beaten up Cash. Now, I want to set an example because it's bad. I just checked, it's like a 43% on our backstage rating. It's bad. So I want to set an example, and I'm hoping it does. I don't want any fighting, so we're gonna go ahead and let Jimmy Yang go. Cash is happy with that decision. I'm probably gonna go and search for another cruiserweight. He's not. I obviously didn't have any plans for him, but still a cruiserweight that I could have used. But I'm gonna have to find somebody else. Anyways, Here we go. Things are falling apart. Same deal. I can't just say one and not the other. Um, Jamie Noble's got to go. We're not fighting. We really got to change. We really got to change how things go around here. Buff Bagwell's annoyed Batista. Let's give him a stern warning. Brian Clark, he's really, really not looking good for things right now. Obviously, he doesn't have a history now because we had to reset the save, but I'm going to give him. Is a fine extreme? I'm going to fight him. Whatever. Shane says that he thinks AJ Styles has a bright future. Okay, good to know. Good to know. Okay, now we get back into Great American Bash. We are starting off Great American Bash with Buff Bagwell defeated Dustin Rhodes in 9 minutes and 50 seconds with a segment rating of 48. In their next match, Diamond Dallas Page and Conan defeat Shane Douglas and Dave Batista in 9 minutes and 44 seconds. Says Dave Batista was the weakest link, but he's 37. I mean, I think he's going to be okay shortly. AJ Styles defeated Chavo Guerrero in 14 minutes and 42 seconds. AJ Styles defends his cruiserweight title. Alright, in our 5-way title match, Sean and Chuck defeat Storm and Vampiro, Chronic, and Mike Rotunda and Disco Inferno. New debut of Mike Rotundo. Rotundo. I think I'm probably just going to have him be maybe a road agent. Do some matches when as needed. As you see, he's kind of thrown in here. We'll see. Maybe I'll push him. Maybe I'll give him a good story if something comes up. But this was segment rating of 45. Next segment. All right. And Gene stops Booker. I mean, that is not Booker. Stops Sting before his match this afternoon with Booker T. And Gene says, Sting, you're moments away from facing Booker T. What promises to be a heated match, can you give us some insight into your mindset going into this confrontation? Sting says, Gene, let me tell you something about Booker T. That man represents everything wrong with WCW. He's a relic of the past, clinging to his glory days like a drowning man clutching at straws. I mean, I think that's kind of hypocritical from Sting. But Booker thinks he's untouchable, thinks he's the king of the mountain, but tonight I'm going to show him just how wrong he is. I'm going to tear him apart, piece by piece, limb by limb, until there's nothing left but a broken shell of a man he used to be. Gene says, Sting, those are strong words. Are you prepared to go to any lengths to defeat Booker T? Damn right I am, Gene. I'll do whatever it takes to down Booker T and rid WCW of his toxic influence once and for all. He wants to play dirty. He wants to fight dirty. Well, he's picked the wrong man to mess with. Tonight I'm going to unleash hell on Booker T, and he'll have no one to blame but himself. Very heated Sting here. Our next match, Chris Kanyon draws in a match with Bill Goldberg when the referee loses control and stops the match in a double DQ. And we're still undecided on Chris Kanyon and Bill Goldberg. I mean, going back in here, I cannot. I think, if I remember correctly, Goldberg won this last match and they drew this time, so far, I think Goldberg is still up one. But anyways, our next match, Jeff Jarrett defeats Rey Mysterio in 19 minutes and 54 seconds by submission after interference from that evil Jeremy Borash. Jeff Jarrett wins the WCW United States Heavyweight title, taking it from Rey Mysterio. And in our main event Sting defeats Booker T in 19 minutes and 44 seconds by submission, and Sting wins the WCW World Heavyweight title. That was a segment rating of 55. And a show rating of 55. Okay show. Not a huge deal. And I know I really got to start doing on all of my series. I just really got to start doing speeches. I don't know. I just too lazy, I guess. I don't know. Okay, so let's look. Top shows. Great American Bash was our top show of that. I'm not sure how, off the top of my head, how our other ones did from the beginning of this series on, but all right. But here at the end of ignore that. We'll fix it. I have a plan. But anyway, so coming out of Great American Bash, we got AJ Styles as our Cruiserweight Champion, Jeff Jarrett as our United States Champion, that evil Sting as our World Heavyweight Champion, and Sean O'Haire and Chuck Palumbo as our Tag Team Champions. But that has been another episode of WCW. I will see you guys next time.